Hello everyone, today we're going to do a review on Promise Neverland manga volume 1. So for the time, the anime of the Promise Neverland season 2 is coming out in this January, I believe. And I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, just put it in the comments. And so let's just get started with the review, shall we? In Chapter 1, Gracefield House, we are introduced to the main characters Emma, Ray, and Norman, along with the other kids of Gracefield House, with all of them being 38 kids in total, being Dawn, Gilda, Connie, Phil, Anna, Hans, and more because there's a lot of them, so we're not going to go through all of them. They are all under the caretaker of who they call Mom. Her real name is Isabella, and they are living in an orphanage called Gracefield House. They all live happy lives there with wonderful food, wearing white clothes, numbers tattooed on their necks, playing and having their normal lives until they're shipped out to live happy lives. At a daily basis at Gracefield House, the 38 kids, among with Emma, Way, Norman, do daily tests and play all day. Emma, Norman, and Way being the top kids with the highest scores. Emma is very cheerful and helpful, Norman is smart and intelligent, and Way is very good at solving problems and is just as smart as Norman, but is more edgy and doesn't tend to agree with Norman, which we'll get to that later. Nat, one of the kids at Gracefield House, talks about how Emma, Norman, and Ray are very good and skilled in both academics and athletics. Gilda agreeing with him. This makes Dawn jealous as he mentions how Norman is too good at tag, one of the games they play. So Dawn challenges Norman to a game of tag, but everyone is it except Norman. Norman agrees to the challenge. Dawn also mentions that this is Connie's last time at the Gracefield House and she is being shipped out today. Later that day, it shows a panel of Isabella taking down a drawing Connie had made for her. She shows affection to the drawing. Before the panel shows Emma running into the kids' room to see if Connie was ready to leave her in her happy, cheery mood. Connie asks Emma what she thinks about the new clothes. Emma tells her she looks great. Connie thanks Emma. Then they go down to the dining room and everybody's going to miss Connie, saying Connie saying that she wasn't really good at tests, but would try harder in the outside world, and dreams of becoming a mother one day like Isabella. As Isabella made Little Bunny, a stuffed rabbit, to Connie on her 6th birthday, Connie being 6 years old herself, everyone was crying. Emma gave Connie a big hug, and everyone went out of the dining room where Connie said goodbye to everyone and was taken away by Isabella to the gates. The gates being a place where no one is allowed to go. There was also a fence in the forest that no one was allowed to go beyond it. Those were the main rules all the kids of Gracefield House had to follow. Emma then admits she, Norman, and Ray have been at the house for 10 years, making them 11 years old. And only 11 years old in the house, Emma thinks that her, Norman, and Ray would be the next ones to get shipped out soon. Later, after Connie left with Isabella, Emma goes to the dining room to clean, where she sees Little Bunny on the front tables and panics as Connie left Little Bunny behind. Gilda says Connie has already gone when Emma says they had to give Little Bunny to Connie. Ray comes in and says maybe as he saw the lights at the gates, the lawn, in the bathroom window, and Mom has not come back, Connie might have not actually left yet. Norman goes with Emma to deliver Little Bunny to Connie, but find the door to the outside is locked. But Norman is able to help with picklocking the door and opening it as they go to leave for the gate. Once arriving at the gate, they see the dark tunnel leading to the outside, but Connie and Isabella were nowhere to be found. All that was there was a truck parked against the wall. Norman and Emma looked it around and investigated the truck. It wasn't until Emma looked into the back to discover a terrifying truth. Emma was scared and tells Norman to come look at the back, him too shocked to see Connie who was dead. The spider lily stabbed in her chest, and the pool of blood of her own blood are surrounding her. That is when they heard noises coming with voices coming out of a room next to them. They were quickly hid under the truck, and as the doors of the side room opened, Emma peeked under the truck and saw two monsters with very sharp teeth and slimy tongues. They picked up dead Connie and placed her in a vat of water that dissolved her clothes. Norman and Emma panicked, and they tried to keep their voices down. They realized from what they knew from reading books that those monsters were demons. They wondered where Isabella was and if she was okay, and overheard the demons talking how Gracefield is a farm and they produce the meat being human flesh. Norman and Emma realized that their lives that they were living were just a lie, and everyone was just being raised to be eaten by demons. Another demon came out of the room with a list saying about another 6-year-old that they have been going normal ones, and they should soon be getting the high-graded ones soon. The other demon said to prepare the plucking of the tree with the full marks, meaning Emma, Norman, and Ray. He said this to someone who came out of the same room as demons that they understood, and the voice that Emma and Norman knew. It was Isabella. The demons ordered it to be done, and that it was now time for him and the other demons to head out. But first, he looked under the truck, and luckily Emma and Norman got away before they'd been seen. Emma tripped and fell and kept on the ground, denying that what she just saw wasn't real, that Isabella, their mom, the one that they call mom, never would do this, and that wasn't Connie who they saw dead in the truck. But Norman came up to her and said the truth, it was Connie. Emma soon screams in sadness and fear, and Norman comes over to comfort her. They went back to the house where Ray was waiting for them. Ray asked how it went, and Norman said they didn't make it. Emma and Norman left to their rooms. Ray felt suspicious of them. Back at the gate, the demons who looked under the truck found Little Bunny. He gave it to Isabella and ordered it to be rid of. Isabella had a scary look on her face. Back at the house, Norman continued to comfort Emma. He was whispering to her that they will find a way out of the house and they will escape along with Ray. But Emma says she doesn't want to leave everyone behind, that she wants everyone to escape so they would not fall into the same fate as Connie. Norman realized and reassured Emma that they will escape with everyone together. There was only 37 kids who lived at Gracefield House now. The chapter then cuts off to the panel that shows a candle showing Connie's ship date in the year 2045. In Chapter 2, The Way Out, Emma had a dream where she found a dark place and she was holding Little Bunny and looking for Connie. She finds a table that is decked out with wine glasses and other essentials ready to have dinner on, and that on a plate was Connie's dead body on top. In fear, behind Emma was a demon with his mouth wide open and ready to eat her. This was used for the beginning of the anime in episode 2 and the cover of chapter 2. Emma wakes up from the terrifying nightmare. She went over everything that has happened. They are humans raised as food for demons to eat and consume. They were going to be killed, but Emma knew they were going to escape. that she will not let any of her family anymore get killed. The next day felt normal. Emma was with the other kids getting the table set. Gilda yelled at Phil not to run, and Mom Isabella came in with plates and the rest of the kids. She then tells Mark to help her set the table. Norma says good morning to Emma, and Emma says good morning back. Norma then tells Emma to act like she was cheerful so Isabella doesn't fall suspicious of them. Emma mentioned she left Little Bunny at the gate last night, which Norma knew she might know someone went to the gate and left Little Bunny, but she didn't know who. So Norman told her to act like nothing has happened for now. So they kept quiet and didn't tell anyone. Once they were outside with everyone doing playtime, Emma talked with Norman about things around the house that were now seeming suspicious than before. Like the windows, for example, were laced with wire, and how they were bolted down in the places where it's unreachable, and that the screws were damaged too. Emma remarks this place is meaning as a cage. The Graceful house was a cage. How that they could eat good food, wear white clothes, and show when they are dirty, and that the regular life that they all been living was to maintain the quality of their lives as merchandise. They then went over the other kids who went before Connie, that being a boy and a girl named Ho and Sadie. Norman drew a map on the dirt that showed the gate, the forest, and the area around in a circle of the house being in the middle. Then they went over the order of the other kids that were shipped out. The last kid before Connie being shipped out 2 months. They could not escape to the gate as it's closed and only open during shipping. So their only chance was to escape through the forest so they could go into the woods and over the fence, which they don't climb over that easily. Like, you can really climb over that easily. Emma could tell Norman was scared just as her as they walked through the forest over the fence, and as they were running to the forest, Emma thinked about all the kids Isabella had shipped out and led them all to their deaths, hiding everything with a fake smile. Both stopped when they reached the end of the forest and discovered a wall. They checked the wall, and Emma climbed the tree to see how tall it was, finding that it was 2 to 3 meters thick. The walls were hard and sturdy, with no rough edges, streams. It was completely smooth, and there was no way to climb it. They thought of an idea. If they had some rope, they could climb up to the top. This when Isabella's bell ringed, and they all went back. So they went back first before they were the last ones. Emma and Norman were quickly back in the nick of time. Once back, Gilda realized who were still missing. She told Isabella which were the ones were missing were Natalie and Mark. Mark came running back and was crying that he said he lost Natalie in the woods. Isabella strangely took out a pocket watch and then opened it and closed it and put it back in her pocket, and then told everyone to wait. As she left and came back with Natalie in her arms. Everyone went over to them. Isabella said that Natalie had gotten tired and fallen asleep, and that she was not hurt. But Norman realizes that it was way too fast that Isabella found Natalie that quick. Norman says to Emma it was Isabella knew where Natalie was. Emma came up with there could be a tracking devices planted somewhere on their bodies. Somewhere Isabella knows someone went to the gate and left Little Bunny. This was now a decision of war. Emma states that the mother that they loved and knew wasn't the mother they were, that she was a demon in her own way. In Chapter 3, The Iron Woman, everyone was cleaning. They reviewed everything again. They went over to humans tasted better. It depends on everyone's scores in the test. It showed that only 6 to 12 years old of age, everyone was shipped out. But Emma didn't understand why it was 6 years old and 12-year-olds. That is when Norman said it was the size of their brains. Emma was confused and Norman explained. The human brain is developed 90% at the age of 6. And another theory also shows that the brain is developed 100% at the age of 12, which meant the demons were after human brains. Emma thought maybe the brain tastes the best and more developed, the better the taste. This scared Emma and Norman. Norman says that they needed to find some rope and that he knew where to find some. When he went to go inside, Emma pulled him back and said about the tracking devices again, that they might have other things like cameras and listening devices inside the house. But Norman told Emma that not to worry as he checked everywhere last night and didn't find anything of the sort in the house. They went inside. Emma followed Norman to where he said he knew a place where there could be rope found. Norman told Emma he wondered that last night Isabella didn't know they were there at the gate, making that Isabella doesn't know when and where they are, only when she checks the location through the pocket watch. And if Isabella checked everyone's movements from night and day, that gives Emma to worry more. But Isabella might not know that they went to the gate, found out about the demons, and that they are planning to escape. When they go to the stairs, Dawn calls over Norman to come and help him check the clock in their room. Norman recommends using oil and comes to help Dawn. This left Emma alone for a second. Emma was looking at a gallery of drawings the little kids drew and noticed that Connie's drawing was gone. Emma put her hand on the spot Connie's drawing used to be, and she reassures herself that everyone is going to escape. Once Norman's done, he checked it on Emma and was shocked to see Isabella was right next to Emma with a dreading look on her face. She asked, even if in a scary face, if Emma was okay. She wasn't cheerful this morning. Emma realized Isabella was checking her reaction with her scary face. Emma knew to know how to act normal and lied, saying that she was just sad that one day she's going to have to leave the house. Isabella asked if Emma liked the house. Emma replied saying she liked Isabella and the house and gave Isabella a hug. Emma also brought up Connie and how Connie wanted to be a mother just like Isabella. Isabella agreed. Isabella kept her face with that creepy look. Before she could do anything else, Ray had came over and from up the hall and told Isabella that dinner was ready. He also had rang the bell, which made the little kids went downstairs. Norman was able to finally go up to Emma and walked away with her, and then before Isabella had left to help with the dinner, she asked Norman and Emma if they had gone to the gate last night, and this scared both of them. Norman says with a lie that it was against the rules. Emma also says that they had too much fun yesterday. She brought up Tad. Norman joined in and said how Emma wasn't able to catch him. He asked why Isabella asked this, and Isabella just says to never mind as long as they didn't go. Once Isabella finally left, Emma fell to the floor. Emma told how relieved she was that her heart just started pounding again. Norman got Emma up and told if she can walk. Emma says that they should investigate what Isabella knows, her targets too, but she doesn't know who is it yet. The next panel then cuts to Isabella saying how she checked everyone and none of them acted out of place, like she was making a written report. It was also shown to Emma and Norman, but in the middle of the night trying to lockpick a door to find rope. It then turned back to Isabella saying that she won't let anyone escape as she unties her dress, revealing that she too had a number tattooed on her neck, being 73584. It then ends with Isabella saying she will be the one to survive. Chapter for the best option. It shows Norman and Wei unlocking the door to the storage room to find some rope. The storage room, even if Isabella had a key, hardly ever goes into. It is mostly dubbed the Forbidden Room. It then shows Ray reading a book in the main cover chapter. Then he closes the book and goes to look for Emma and Ray, who had went to the wall surrounded by Gracefield House. That they were not able to find any rope, but they were able to find tablecloths that they can make rope out of. They put the tablecloths and the rope into the hole inside the tree near the wall to hide them. Norman remarks the hard part remains. Emma bumped it and agreed, and that was the tracking devices that they had to deal with in helping everyone escape. Emma says they should tell Wei about the escape plan and the truth of Gracefield House. Norman agrees, as Wei wouldn't freak out, that he knows a lot and is good with machines. He will need to help with assisting the plan. Norman says he will go talk to Wei, but Wei comes out of nowhere and asks them right there. This freaks out Norman and Emma. Wei admits he had followed them when they were going to the wall to plan the rope. Wei says that they were acting weird on the night that Connie was shipped out, and it has been bugging him. Norman explains if Wei will help, that he will tell everything. Wei agreed, and Norman told what they need to escape Gracefield House. Wei showed they freaked out, but he was quickly overcome and was able to calm down faster. That this also surprised Norma and Emma, as Emma says she was surprised Wei was believing them so easily. Wei then points out that Norma would never tell a stupid of a lie as Emma. Ray starts to think of the escape plan and narrowed it down to the biggest issue being that the 37 kids total of them that live at the house, and a lot of them under the age of 6. He says how it will be impossible for everyone to escape, and then when Emma wants them all to. He says he doesn't know what it's like outside, and they do not know either. The outside is the demon's world, but again, Emma disagrees. She says they will figure it out and escape with everyone. Emma wants to change the world. Emma kept on arguing with Ray. Ray pulls Norman to a side and asks him to speak in private. Ray argues with Norman that he would need to stop smirking that he needed to smack some sense into Emma. And Norman didn't yell, he was calm. He explained how Emma was crying when she found out about the truth. He was scared too. He was scared of dying, but Emma was scared of her family dying. Ray tells him that he has lost his mind, and Norman agrees. Norman knows Ray wouldn't let them to escape on their own, so Ray had no choice but to join in helping everyone escape Gracefield. Once Ray and Norman came back to Emma, Ray showed a book that he was reading, and it was called Medical Engineering and Human History. He then told them that to look at when the book was published. Norman and Emma looked at the front page. It had the year 2015 as the publishing date. Ray says that this book was one of the newest books in the house. 2015 might be the year where books could be published. From 2045 and 2015, that will be 30 years ago for them. So they needed to think what had happened in those 30 years. Ray says it's possible that there is a human society outside of Gracefield. He also says there might be a chance of winning for them. In Chapter 5, She Got Us, it shows Emma and Ray in the library. They were looking for anything that they could find of the outside world was like 30 years ago. What they got now was to check for bugs and cameras to make sure no one was listening into their conversations. There was none of that in the house. They confirmed what was beyond the fence. There were being a wall and getting some rope. which was tablecloths that they hid in the tree. Everything that they were doing was going smoothly. That is when Isabella called down Norman, Ray, and Emma, as they were called, and Emma saw as Donna and Gilda were also called as well. Isabella had her pocket watch open and asked if she could get some help to do some chores. It seems like it took 3 days to do all the chores. Emma is worried that Isabella suspects them. Ray tells Emma to calm down and think from the enemy's point of view. Norman told Emma not to panic as that Isabella wants them to be like that. Like Emma thinks that how Norman and Ray can be so smart, then she thinks like she thought if she can have that power of strategy, observation, analyst, reading the enemy's moves, Emma really wants to be like Norman and Ray. If she were like Norman and Ray, no one will die. Ray then says how the chores were annoying the third day in a row. He named all the chores they were doing for Isabella. Ray also explains that it's natural for Isabella to even suspect the oldest first, the oldest being Emma, Ray, Norman, Dawn, and Gilda. Norman says they will have to keep their guard up, that Isabella doesn't know it's them yet. And with the meaningless tax not giving them any free time, Ray thought Isabella was limiting their time. Ray was glad that they took into the tablecloths, as if they have took the shirts and sheets, Isabella would have found out. Dawn was getting tired of all the chores. Emma had felt guilty. Gilda wonders if doing all the chores was some kind of punishment. Gilda took Dawn away to do something else with the chores. When they left, Norman said that they had to do something or escaping would be impossible. They had to stop Isabella's tracker. Emma asked how she said that she had checked the body over her bodies and found like nothing that can be used to be implanted. Norman says he checked the clothes and shoes, but there was nothing that was found on them that showed that had some tracker or sort in it. Ray explains on mankind's existing tech a tracking device, but that they need batteries and really long calculations. The tracking device had to be something ultra small that would not leave a scar, and the batteries that will last for like 10 years. But in 2015, those types of tracking devices were nothing but fiction at that time. Ray meant that it would be difficult to locate the trackers and break them, and that they might as well give up if the tech was organized by the demons, that is. Norman agreed that they would be using a specific type of technology from the demons. This was only making Emma freak out more and more. Norman thought that they need more information. Norman went over what Isabella was making with do with the chores. Norman could put out his finger on one, but it was like she was being soft on all of them. Isabella was the one who raised them. They need to think, what was she planning exactly? She taught and raised everyone. Dawn then comes back with Gilda and yells at Norman, Emma, and Ray after seeing them not doing any work. Emma apologizes as they went to finish everything up. Dawn then complains that they don't have to do this tomorrow. And outside, Phil and another girl of the Gracefield asks Isabella how long is Emma and the others going to do chores. Isabella told them not to worry. The next day, Norma, Emma, and Ray were shocked Isabella had brought some help. She also had a baby with her. Isabella had introduced everyone to the baby as the new little sister Carol and Isabella's assistant sister Krone. She had got Emma, Ray, and Norman that she only worried about keep the trackers to revealing her real plan, and didn't notice that there was another adult that Krone was coming. Everything that they were doing was to buy and prepare time. was for that Sister Krone. Sister Krone was making her arrival, that making the escape difficult more. Krone introduces herself to everyone soon after that. In Chapter 6, Carol and Krone, the day went on as usual. Isabella told the kids to be careful while playing. One of the kids asked if Isabella was coming to play. Isabella said she had to talk with Krone first outside. This pissed off Norman, Ray, and Emma as Emma was worried. The room Krone was using as her bedroom was the room that they had cleaned out yesterday. It was also right next to the kids' room. Everything that they were doing yesterday was to prepare for a new enemy, another pair of eyes. Even if it felt like hope was lost, Ray came up with and said that actually he felt happy about this because now they had two sources of information, Carol and Krone. It then cuts off to Phil and the other kids asking where did Emma had gone to, only to find Dawn, Gilda, and Anna by the tree Norma, Emma, and Ray would mostly be at. Ray, Emma, and Norman were actually further in the woods and were reviewing how to escape. Emma said on where Krone and Carol came from. Norman said Carol is replacing Connie, like replacing merchandise. Ray said how this place is not an orphanage but a farm. Ray said that there might be a base where they have 1-year-olds created or kidnapped to replenish the farm. Norman thought that the base might be where they are being supplied with more human livestock. Emma also wonders if that is the place where they came from before coming to Gracefield, then leaves when Krone came over. If the adults who obey the demons are either controlled from birth or captured in human society, how will they survive after they escape depends on that. Norman knew the background of Isabella and Krone was the answer. When he finds it significant that they got a new sibling, that being Carol, since she arrived, she might have a scar where a tracking device can be implanted. Ray came up with 3 things. 1, the adults are the key to the outside world. 2, Carol may have a clue on the tracking devices. And 3, that the way Isabella is proceeding, things are off. This confused Emma. Ray had explained that more clearly that Isabella already knew she would have to just ship them off immediately. Norman also points out how Isabella hasn't done that yet. That she might have a reason and is not doing it just because of her objective. But Norman could not find out why. Ray said if they can't know where the enemy's movements are, there is a chance they will lose. Ray also says there is no way Norman and Ray will get close enough to Carol. Emma put herself to the search of the tracking devices for Carol. Emma thought to herself that she was not going to lose, not to the demons or Isabella and Krone, because back in Isabella's office she had a chat with Krone. Krone was happy to be back at Gracefield, it seems. Isabella said she only requested for an assistant, not her specifically Krone. Krone admires how Isabella is the youngest to be head caretaker. Isabella had told Krone to stop with the small talk and to get down to business. She told her to look through all the information of the kids at Gracefield House, supplying her with files on each and every kid. Krone memorized every single thing, and she also remarked how easy it would be for Krone, like getting perfect scores on every test. Krone smiled and went through the files over and over, and to make sure she got everything right, I guess. And Isabella said that they found out about the secret, which shocked Krone. Isabella admitted that 2 kids found out the secret, and that they are also were shown the Krone had panicked and said about the rules and saying that was against the violations that the caretakers must follow if this were to happen, that Isabella needed to ship them out immediately. But Isabella calmed her down and said she had a plan in motion, that she asked Krone to be a guard so that no one who knows the secret are shipped out before they can escape. They are shipped out on the day they are shipped out. Isabella soon asked Krone if she understood. Krone grinned and said with a yes. In Chapter 7, We're Counting on You, Emma says there are 9 cribs with 9 babies in Isabella's room. 1 and 2 of them being the ones that wake up and go to sleep at the same time as Isabella. The only ones allowed to help Isabella clean and change the babies are the older girls, that being Gilda and Emma, who went to Isabella's room. This is where the babies were held. Dining room, Ray and Norman were cleaning the dishes. Norman said about how much the little kids were really liking Krone. Ray brought up if they were going to help everyone escape, they had to make sure that the demons are not notified about it, because if they are, they won't stop at nothing to hunt them down in the outside world. That is when Krone came up to them out of nowhere and was behind Ray and Norman. Krone introduces herself to them and leaves. Ray and Norman were glad that he stopped talking about the escape plan before Krone had come over. When Krone leaves, she reveals that she wants to be mom just like Isabella, but she thinks how Isabella is not telling the secret that the 2 of the kids know what is happening and making the escape plan. Krone thinks if she were to tell the higher-ups of Isabella's misdeed, she will become mom and the mom of Gracefield House. So she sets to find the target kids first and inform the higher-ups, then get the mom position. With Emma, she checked that Carol wasn't able to find any odd marks on Carol. She started to think like Ray and Norman. Then Emma thought that there might take out the tracking devices once being shipped, so it would be a place where it can easily be taken out. Emma thought of a place where they could be hidden. Gilda says how good Emma was with babies, but then asks Emma what happened on the night Tommy was shipped out. But Emma was too busy and didn't hear Gilda because she was finding the tracking devices. Emma checked Carol's ear and saw a mark. Gilda wonders if it could be a bug bite. Emma remembers this is the spot where they took blood from. Isabella had told her when she was young. Emma checked it and saw that if the device was planted in their ear, this which Emma was able to find. Emma was happy that she found the tracking devices. It was that the tracking devices were implanted in everyone's ear, but Emma found it odd how she couldn't feel hers. She wondered if when Krone grabbed her, wondered and worried, but Carol grabbed her finger. Emma thought and knew they were going to escape, that they just had to find a way out and break the implants. In the secret room, Isabella is talking through a radio transmitter. She speaks with a person known as Grandmother. Grandmother asks if the 3 can be shipped out as scheduled. Isabella reassures Grandmother that everything is fine and will be going fine. It then cuts off to a demon holding a spider lily and talking about how the master of some sort, but the name is not revealed. This was cut off until volume 2. Okay, now it's time for the actual review. Let's get on with my thoughts, what I thought of volume 1 of Promised Neverland. Now, I really liked the art style that The art style that Pizzuka Demi-Zoo had was wonderful and cheerful in showing how it can change with dark elements. As for the writer, Kayu Shiraya, the storytelling gave us introductions to the main character and the kids of Gracefield House. Both did a very good job. Now what I thought on the fence that oversees the area, why make it so easy to climb over? Like literally, that's literally like logical sense. Why would you do that? Because, well, that's just what I say, okay? And that what's gonna happen is so far in the Promised Land manga, we have to like know what's gonna happen and that how the story is gonna play out. So let's go over some questions that we can like think over. This you can use by going down into the comment section and digging up the questions yourself, giving everyone an answer on why. Number 1 is will they escape Gracefield? 2, how will it take to destroy the tracking devices? And how will they be able to escape with Isabel's assistant sister Krone as their new enemy and obstacle? So to stick tuned, volume 2, I upload random videos and I can make it my channel. So I hope you have a wonderful year. Goodbye.